Ripples on Deep Water, by Orphaned Account, on EU3. Episode 15, Chapter 15. Whatever it takes. Alright, kiddies. Midnight stood next to a bracket board, pointing at it with a wide smile. Here are your mashups. Izuku fiddled with his gloves. Honestly, he was a bit annoyed with them. The rubber coating made them kind of stiff, but it was necessary for the welding of the lightning rods, on the off chance his hand slipped. He was against some guy from 1A named Kaminari. He glanced around, meeting the eyes of the blonde with a black streak in his hair. Yo, Midoriya-kun, he said easily. Don't mean to be offensive or anything, but I haven't seen you use your quirk yet, and I'm sure you're super talented, but I'm kinda really good on the one-on-one battles. Izuku stood on the opposite side of Kaminari in the ring. Honestly, he hated that he was going first. And we have the dark horse from the support course that has dominated the prodigious skills and craftsmanship in the first 2 rounds, Midoriya Izuku. And facing Midoriya for the first battle is Kaminari Denki from Heroics 1A, the one with the electricity quirk and stuff. Mike, please remind me why I'm here. Electricity. Huh. This will be over in a flash. Kaminari winked. Start! Midnight shouted. Indestructible shock! Kaminari cracked with electricity before it exploded outwards, running along the minute Merle disposal in the concrete towards Izuku. Izuku flips forwards, palms out, and lands in a handstand, the electricity avoiding his rubber-coated gloves, and continued on its path away from him. When Izuku righted himself, Kaminari had the stupidest expression Izuku has ever seen on a human being's face. Thumbs up. Kaminari? He called, uncertainly. He blinked slowly, bobbing his arms. Whee! Okay, then. Kaminari is unable to continue. Midoriya advances to the next round. He grins to himself as the robots escort the electric teen away, and Izuku heads back to the stand to watch Sero versus Todoroki. Only to watch the poor boy get trapped in a glacier. Ouch. Mei vocalizes without a hint of pity on her face. Looks like a tough guy to beat, Izuku. Right. He has to fight him. Fuck. He suddenly remembers why Mei wanted to. Hey, wouldn't it be better to endorse your products by actually trying to win the sports festival instead of just using somebody as a guinea pig? She pauses, fingers tapping her chin, like one of those anime girls. Then she grins. Yeah, that's a great idea, Izuku. See you in the semifinals. Mei faced Ida with a smile that made him shift from foot to foot. She was absolutely going to decimate that skid. Start! Ida shot forward like a bullet from a gun, and she dodged. I know what you all must be thinking. What a smooth dodge that was, Hatsume. How fast and elegant. Ida sputtered, running after her again, but she hovered in the air just above him. Well, that's because of one of my personal favorite support items. The jet works simultaneously to Gran Torino's quirk, but also allows for sustained fight, as they were utilized in the second round of Team Midoriya, built by yours truly, Hatsume Mei. That's Hatsemeei. Then she pulled something else from her belt pouch, a basketball-sized ball of what seemed to be thick blue twine encased by a thin layer of glass. She zoomed into a VIP box and saw support representatives talking excitedly, and she grinned, all mania and joy. This is Blue Bond. To keep up with the themes of the previous Pink Bomb, what it is and how it works, I'll demonstrate it in a moment. This was designed by me and my partner, Midoriya Izuku. That's Midoriya Thank you for your consideration. She turns off her mic. Hatsume, please stop hijacking the sound booth. Aizawa-sensei sighed. She makes an ugly face at him and zooms in just in time to see the equally hideous look he sends back. And she has never been so thankful Izuku-kun insisted on adding the screenshot feature to the Mei Vision, because that picture is going to be a family heirloom. Glad to know the grumpy heroics teacher was human, and to have blackmail on him. She tossed the blue bomb carelessly at Ida, who funnily enough was too busy trying to figure out what her strange expressions were until it hit him square in the chest and exploded into long blue wires that wrapped around Ida and bound him tightly. Ida is unable to move. Hatsume advances to the next round. Momo was humiliated. She was a recommendation student. She should have fared better against Tokoyami. She was supposed to be the best. Her parents expected her to be the best. But she didn't even get the chance. Overwhelmed before the match even began. Hot tears of humiliation sprang to her eyes as she huddled in the corner of some dark, empty hall. She didn't want anyone to see her like this. She was supposed to be strong. She sat with her head between her legs, listening to naught but her own pathetic cries fueled by embarrassment and wretched disappointment. You know, it sounds kind of assholey, but I'm kind of sort of glad Tokoyami won. You could have given Mei Mei a run for her money, but Tokoyami doesn't stand a chance. Momo's head shot towards the speaker and saw a black-haired boy sitting beside her with a blank expression. That reminded her of Sue, plus eye bags that rival Aizawa sensei's. Sorry. She managed through her haze of tears. I'm so pathetic. He blinked dark green eyes at Momo. That's your opinion. Mind if I share mine? She shook her head, ponytail a mess as it scraped against the wall behind her. It didn't matter if this guy said she wasn't good at anything. She'd surely hear it from her brothers later. I saw you during the other rounds. You're pretty badass, and you're really smart and creative. You'd make a great hero or support designer if you chose that path. Momo opened her mouth, then closed it. She really, really wanted to be a hero and save people. But nobody had ever suggested she could be good at something different. I was planning on asking you for help on making some rare materials me and my partner needed for the support item we're making in a few days, or something. You'd be paid, of course. Momo legitimately had no idea what to do. He had single-handedly took apart her self-deprecating phase and then completely changed the subject away from this festival entirely, and made it seem practically natural. How the fuck? She smiled hesitantly and nodded. Sounds great. I'm Yarozu Momo, but call me Yamomo. It's less of a mouthful. The boy nodded. Midoriya Izuku. The boy who won the other 2 rounds. What was he doing wasting his time with her? Sorry, I know I'm a mess. She gestured to her hair. The boy tilted his head slightly, eyes narrowing a bit. I remember the style it was in. Do you mind if I try to fix it? She snorts. Go for it. They spent the next 5 minutes. While Mina was preparing to face off with Monoma, Koda was telling her off. With Midoriya trying and repeatedly failing to fix her ponytail before he gave up, shaking his head and standing. Come on. I know a way back to 1F's viewing room, so you won't have to be seen by anyone if you're self-conscious about being tear-stained and having nicer hair screwed up by an amateur. Momo laughed wetly, allowing herself to follow the boy down a few different halls and noticing that he had some green highlights that catch the light when they made it to the brighter area. She also noticed he was really short. He pushed open the door to the 1F viewing room, and a pink-haired girl ran over to greet Midoriya. Izuku! She grinned widely before turning her yellow gaze to Momo, and she notes the crosshairs shaped in her pupils. Hi, I'm Hatsume Mei, support designer extraordinaire. You've already met Izuku. You should meet our babies. What? Our support items. Midoriya cuts into her thoughts with a scathing glare at his girl friend? We're partners. We call our support items babies, and it causes a lot of misunderstandings. We aren't dating, and we definitely don't have children. That made significantly more sense. Momo raised a breath. Mei, can you fix Yaramozu's hair, please? I tried and fucked it up worse. Hatsume inspected Momo's ponytail, then shook her head sadly. I don't know. I can. All eyes shifted to a tall boy with wild lilac hair, and eye bags to match Midoriya's. The boy suddenly looked immensely uncomfortable. I'm Shinsou Hitoshi from 1C. I have 2 little sisters and 2 older sisters. The oldest works in a movie makeup and hairstylist. She taught me everything I know and, got a lot of practice on the rest of them. Almost smiled warmly at the boy, who relaxed a bit. That'll be wonderful, Shinso-kun. So maybe Hitoshi ended up doing everyone's hair, while Ashido fought Monoma, and eventually lost to the copycat 1B student. Even Ban had short-ass hair, so Hitoshi ended up spiking his dark brown hair dramatically. Izuku now had a messy bun that wouldn't come undone, that Hitoshi definitely did not do because he thinks Izuku looks cute in a messy bun, and was disappointed he didn't get to see it more often. Hatsume had him braid her dreadlocks together, and Riku twins wanted side ponytails going in opposite directions. Frey wanted a braid bun thing, and Yamamomo wanted her super cool ponytail back, so that was the thing. His reputation was really dead to 1F, wasn't it? He rolled his shoulders, standing across from Shinsa. May this be a fair fight, Shinsuka declared, doing a weird religious thing with her hands that Hitoshi really didn't get, but he would. Hitoshi shook his head a bit, putting on his siren call. It was similar to a mask like the Winter Soldier, but black, and had a mic inside, and a speaker just out in front. He ramped up the volume. For our next battle, we have the mysterious Shinsou Hitoshi from General Education that has somehow come out in the top 10 in every round, versus the assassin of 1B. Excuse me? Sunasa raised her hand. I am no assassin. To kill would be a sin. I simply want to bring peace. Hitoshi might not be able to zoom like Hatsume, but he knew Yamada-sensei was making a confused face. Sorry, the kick-ass peacemaker of 1B, Shinsuka Akira. Got anything to say, Aizawa? I wish I was asleep. Oh, big mood. Start! She shot her vines forward, and Hitoshi panicked, searching for literally anything to say. I am disgusted. I am revolted. I dedicate my entire life to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and this is the thanks I get? The vines stopped, dropping from Shessa's sides. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was being so aggressive. The brainwashing hits the same time the joke did. The youth in the audience crowd growled with laughter as Hitoshi stares at the vine girl. That worked. Walk out the area, then snap out of it, he ordered. Shizuka swayed before turning and walking away. What? The mysterious Shinso gets even more so. Shizuka's obeying him. She steps over the line, and color floods her eyes, and she blinks confusedly. Shizuka is out of bounds. Shinso advances to the next round. He grins victoriously. It's unfortunate when Fiend loses to Uraraka. She can't exactly set off a nuclear explosion in the middle of the tournament, but Uraraka and Hatsume talk really excited together after, and he can't really say he'd expected it when Bakugou handed Kirishima his own ass. He just really, really hoped Bakugou wouldn't face Izuku. Okay, I'm liking it. Chapter 16, Things We Lost in the Fire. Summary, Izuku and Todoroki have a serious talk. Oh, Todoroki, you're trauma bonding. Shoto has a lot of things to think over. Ochako makes a friend. Aww. I cannot wait for this. I cannot. I also really, really like the Hitoshi having like a huge ass crush. I've mentioned this before, but I have to mention it again. It is adorable. I like seeing his point of view. I like that moment that Izuku had with Momo. I genuinely like the thought that maybe Momo was like not pressured into being a hero, but has a lot of pressure into succeeding and being the best she can be. And I love viewing that and seeing that. I like that this story is putting attention to a lot of different characters that we normally don't get a lot of light on. So I'm really enjoying this so far. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.